Hi, I'm Gabriel. Today a new video, and quite a special one. Actually, I wanted to do a different material today, but since this is important information, at least important for me, I will cover the information about Dragon Age Inquisition. Yeah, it surfaced yesterday, and we have to analyze it quite deeply because there is some interesting info. Gameinformer visited BioWare, and they covered a lot of info about the game. Is that cool? Well, it depends. This is the first time since E3 we had any kind of information from BioWare, and they have quite a lot of things to do, because for the first time in the career of the studio, I believe they have to fight for the approval of their fans. Since, of course, Dragon Age 2 and Mass Effect 3 ending, there's a lot of bad blood between the fandom, people like me, who play BioWare games from the very beginning, and the studio in general. What is important here, and this is strictly important, the video that is a teaser that we will try to analyze a little bit here is there's a lot of things there that are a teaser, of course. So the upcoming coverage will bring more info. At the moment, a lot of things I will say here is my opinion, my personal opinion, and some of these are my thoughts and speculation. So take that into account when you comment and review, okay? Let's go to the video and analyze it a little bit.
The thing that we're doing from a story standpoint to set us apart is that in addition to growing your character, in addition to growing, a vast group of companions.
Info number 1. We see this on second 10 of the video. It seems Cassandra and Varric are already confirmed as companions of the Inquisitor. In general, that's cool information, but it is too early to say how they evolved as characters, what affected them, and how they will react in the story. That's one thing.
And followers is that we also want you to feel like you're growing your organization.
In the chaos surrounding the beginning of the game, you're reforming the Inquisition, not as part of the church, not as part of the chantry. You actually stand apart from it, and in fact, based on these events, actually in opposition to it.
You're that upstart group who everybody has to respect but doesn't want to. And how do you either earn that respect or demand it?
I think with Dragon Age...
At second 31, we see a nice footage from inside BioWare studio in the office. Here I like the clocks on the wall representing different time zones. It says quite clearly that BioWare is doing what they can when it comes to it. Shows that they are professional in what they do. This also reminds me of sort of a financial office, when the clocks represent different time zones for different markets when they open during the cycle of the day.
All 5 platforms as far as we can, just right to the edge of their breaking point.
There are things that we're seeing in Dragon Age in terms of...
And finally we arrive at second 40. That's the pre-alpha gameplay footage, which looks quite interesting, and there's a few things I want to point out here. First, the interface looks like Dragon Age 2. Is that good or bad? Depends. I was hoping for interface more like in Dragon Age Origins, but it's not really that big of a deal. It's more of a detail, and that can be changed quite easily. I believe it's just a matter of preference, I think. Second, the portraits in the lower left corner of the screen, they are bigger. They are bigger than the ones in Dragon Age 2. That's a big plus for me. We see also a quest marker. The guy who's playing has a quest marker. Looks very like Dragon Age 2. Behind the word gameplay, you see clearly a very Elder Scroll type looking compass instead of a minimap. It's an arguable choice because this brings into memory Skyrim, of course. We also see the experience bar in the upper right corner of the screen. I don't know, do we really need that in our face each time we see? Arguable again. Important, the character uses a torch. I saved the most important thing for the last here. That suggests that the Frostbite 3 engine, which of course is the new engine for Dragon Age games, has a very good dynamic lighting and shadows. In Dragon Age, usually the atmosphere of the game was achieved slightly bit different, but the torch in the hand, very climactic. Nice idea. One more thing, you have the Steam icon on the taskbar of Windows there down, which means in BioWare they use Steam. Interesting thing to notice. The whole gameplay is played on an Xbox 360 controller. Personally, when I saw that for the first time, I was like, oh really, great. Because the game is going out on 5 consoles: PC, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The controls are created with the controller in mind. But later on that will be addressed, I think.
And this incredible level of interactivity. We're working on Frostbite. We're all sharing technology and building something really special together.
One of the things I love about Baldur's Gate is...
Second 53. Character on a horse. It seems that the character will have his own horse, which generally sounds quite cool, not only as a means to travel, but also as an important element, you know, a man with his horse traveling the road. It might I think that the horse can become a character on its own, which will be quite funny. As far as I know, this game is not going open world, and to be honest, that's also a good thing. We have a lot of games going open world in upcoming years, but what we know is that the maps will be bigger. And of course, to travel that distance, a horse might be a good idea. Generally, we need to see the horse in action to say how this mechanic affects the game.
Something we've looked at with Dragon Age and said, let's get back to it, let's do more of that.
We've taken a pretty huge opportunity by shifting engines, by exploring some new types of gameplay.
1 minute and 3 seconds in the video, we have finally a little bit of fight in the footage. In my opinion, this looks a little bit too much as Dragon Age 2 fight, but it's far away from final, and in the points later on it also seems there is a lot of coverage, a lot of attention put into the fighting as well. One more thing, in this screen you have an interesting bar on the bottom of the screen. I wonder if that's the life of the character or what is it. Seems like it's life. We'll see.
To look to a future for BioWare games, not just Dragon Age, where the player has more agency.
1 minute and 11 seconds into the video, we see another footage from the office. There's a big poster in the upper left corner, which is it made me smile because it says, "You always need a goal in your head." So this poster is up there to remind people working what we strive for, what we want this game to be like. Looks quite nice.
Really get back in touch with our fans and help them help us to bring the games forward. What can bring it beyond both those games to something new, something bigger, something better.
Time to go for the quotes. I wanted to separate this material into 2 sections. One strictly about what we see, and the second what they are talking about. First quote is growing the organization. Generally sounds okay. We need more details actually to say how this affects the agency of the player, because Mike Laidlaw tries to say quite clearly that they want to move the agency from the character to different fields, like the relationship with your companions, as well as the relationship, sort of a relationship on how you, as the Inquisitor, create the organization. Depends on how much of customization we will have over the whole organization. It's too early to say, as I said before. Another one is earn or demand respect. I can understand how that can become a non-linear part of the game. Sounds good in general. What I don't understand is how any group in this very conflicted universe at the moment, Thedas is in turmoil and chaos, how any of this group how can we force respect from them? Inquisition needs authority, and I believe our main goal in this game is to build this authority. Then we have Casey Hudson, who shares his opinions about sharing technologies and working on Frostbite 3. He's of course the lead designer for Mass Effect games. Fine that he makes an appearance, because it shows that they try to find ways between the groups to work and so on. Another quote is more Baldur's Gate exploration. Okay, that is a very neat point, very nice point. Baldur's Gate Saga, especially in the first game, had some really nice exploration. You were able to go wherever you wanted to. Sometimes you entered an area and there was a specific quest only in this particular area. That was basically sort of a random, like an encounter that happens only because you met this person there, which is quite good, but that is not all you can bring from Baldur's Gate, to be honest. Combat. Remember, there is this big chunk of criticism directed at Dragon Age 2 combat. And it seems they are listening to that. And the whole thing ends with Mike Laidlaw saying that they want to give the player more agency. This is cool as a general rule. But how it will incorporate in the game, we'll see about that. The final and unfortunately disappointing quote from the very end of this teaser is this guy. I'm sorry, I don't know his name. He says, bigger, new, bigger, better. Stop the PR talk. Please stop it. More facts from the game. Tell us about what you are doing, not what you try to do. Show us the gameplay. And it seems that this coverage will present that. Give us facts, give us information that is based on what you do to make the game look better, to address the issues that were in Dragon Age 2, that were in Mass Effect 3, but oh God, I beg you, don't go with trash talk, because this is, I don't even know how to call it. Bigger, better. What does mean? That doesn't mean anything. Stop that. And now for the info from the forums. It's sort of a summary of articles of the article that will be published in Gameinformer. The points here are quite clear. Most of them are good in a sense of information. I want to share a little bit of my opinion as well. First, there's point that says action less frantic, more deliberate, returning to more tactical oriented approach. That's of course about combat and encounters, which is fine by me. Slowing down speed of the attacks. I mentioned that. I'm quite sure that I mentioned that in my Dragon Age predictions videos. Predictions and suggestions for Dragon Age 3, of course. In mind we had Dragon Age Inquisition, as we call it now. Swarming enemies. Instead of swarming enemies, your foes have specialized roles. This is good, because this also is an advantage in the game's favor, because that requires the player to adopt different strategies to eliminate foes in a specific sort of way, in a specific order. That's fine. You won't regularly see waves of new bad guys appearing out of nowhere. This is cool, something that that the game really needs after Dragon Age 2. And one quote that it's hard for me to actually say that I like it, because when they say something like that, I fear that this is again sort of a promise that I don't know if they will fulfill. PC gamers getting an optimized version. PC actually is different, especially from a control standpoint, trying to recapture the very tailored experience on Dragon Age Origins on PC. So it seems that they want to, at least they say that they want to create PC experience in Dragon Age Inquisition to resemble Dragon Age Origins, which I hope means that the camera will have a tactical view, that we won't be strictly focused on one character, etc., etc. There's a lot of ground here to cover, but generally, if they have that in mind, it might end up nice. Then we have lots of hidden things that you can find: caves, dungeons, corpses, which means, of course, unique loot, side quests that aren't exactly and always connected to the main game. That sounds okay, and for me, I'm all for that. They also want to make sure there's a sufficient number of caves in the game that are each unique. The critic after Dragon Age 2 recycled areas. Yeah, they have to do something with that. It reminds me about elevators in Mass Effect. They also said that during Mass Effect 2, a lot of people attacked the game, saying that, are they elevators? And all BioWare stuff was all, no, there is no elevators. So there were loading screens instead. We'll see how that will look like. Monsters and dragons, for example, do not level up with you, which means they are taking advantage of. They are basically doing what the Witcher series is doing. So there are places where if you go there a lower level, there's just no way you can survive. Some creatures are more powerful, and you will have to come back later, more experienced, properly equipped, possibly, to deal with them. Sounds very old school, if you ask me. Some more about warrior informations, fighting massive armored dragon, blah blah blah. Weather effects can impact exploration. Rainfall, desert, sandstorms. Cool. The more the world breathes and is alive with dynamics that are there, that's cool. We have a name for a new companion, Vivian. She is a mage. I think I found some more info about her. She's from Orlais. She was supposed to be someone there, possibly first enchanter. Who she is and what is she doing, we'll see about that when the article will be published, I believe. I hope that she is and she might be an interesting addition to the crew. Each game has to bring new characters, as it's quite obvious. I hope she's good, nicely written, of course. Varric and Cassandra are joining you as companions. We already know that. Morrigan is not a party member and is not a cameo as well, which was quite obvious from the very beginning, from the E3 trailer. When I saw her doing the narration, I was quite sure that she will be an important character, but she won't be a cameo, in the sense that she will just appear there. Later on we have another quote. They want the squad mates to each have an iconic look. We already, that's not big news. We've seen that on one of the PAX panels last year, I think. 3 classes: warrior, rogue, mage, which is fine by me. And one big info, which is actually very nice: 3 new, which is not exactly new, but new races. Mike Laidlaw asked about the Canary, says that they don't know. the fact that we are given back 3 races from Dragon Age Origins is already good news. The racial choices will color the interactions with others. That's quite obvious. People do have stereotypes in their heads, and we use them usually without even thinking about them. So it's obvious that people in the game are doing that as well. Dialogue wheel returns, but the team has focused a lot on making it selection accurate to what the character says. That's all about the paraphrases. They've not added an optional addition to the wheel that gives you better they've now added an optional addition to the wheel that gives you better idea of what to expect. Sounds good for me. And the final one is working very hard to ensure that saves decisions will carry over to the next generation consoles. Not my problem, I play on PC. Yeah, generally cool. All in all, the information that we have from this issue of Gameinformer looks very promising. But I have to say, don't force your hopes very high. How it will all end up, we'll see about that. There's also a bunch of screenshots from this issue. They look nice. Basically, it seems that the game is progressing technologically as well as in the department of story and role-playing. But yeah, knowing the mistakes of BioWare concerning Dragon Age 2, concerning how they reacted after Mass Effect 3 ending, all in all, they have a lot to do to gain our trust and respect back. But the most important thing that I see from what they showed us at the moment is that they are staying behind. It seems other studios, other developers teams have taken the lead. The fact that Dragon Age 3 has a Skyrim-looking compass at the upper bar on the screen, that they go open world, that a lot of things, horses for example, horses were not present in E3 trailer. They are now present after Witcher 3. Witcher 3 presented horses, of course. It seems they became a studio that reacts to what other people are doing. Is that good or bad? Depends. I hope that this game will have this quality that is able to create and is present in most of the BioWare games. This quality of quite an epic feel, and most importantly, the relationship between characters. This illusion that we care about people who are actually virtual characters. I hope that will be there, because that's why we play those games. I hope to hear more information, and I highly recommend feel free to voice your opinion as well in the comment section down below on BioWare forums. Really give feedback to BioWare, because they actually need it right now more than ever. Because what is important, in the teaser, one of the BioWare staff says that they want to go back, to the fans, that they want this to get the hold with the fans, which indirectly he says that they lost it, that there was the part of the time, there was a time when they, and it might be still there, that they lost the contact with the fans, and they want to regain that. If so, I wish that this will be the, and I believe that's a good course of action. That's what they need, and I hope for a very good game. As always, my name is Gabriel. Thank you for watching, and feel free to comment. Ciao.